A jury has found Xcel partially responsible for an explosion that killed a woman in Aurora in 2018. We wanted to know if that means that Xcel customers are responsible for that $3 million verdict. It's Xcel's portion of the fault for the explosion at the Heather Gardens community when a Comcast cable project hit a gas line. Our Marshall Zellinger looks at who's going to pay for the verdict and Xcel's legal fees.
Her legacy lives on. Her smile and laughter are what people most often talk about.
Carol Ross, Derek's mom, was just about to check off her 7th and final continent.
The last big trip on her, or in her bucket list, was Antarctica, and she was 2.5 weeks away from departing on that cruise.
A struck Xcel gas line near her Heather Gardens home in Aurora led to an explosion that killed Carol in November 2018.
It was disturbing that they didn't want to accept any responsibility for what happened.
The gas line that was hit was Xcel's, but the project was not. Heather Gardens contracted with Comcast to install fiber optic cable lines. Comcast hired a contractor to do excavation and drilling, which hired a subcontractor, which also hired a subcontractor. All were sued by Ross's family and a few other Heather Gardens residents. The lawsuit claimed the companies struck numerous utility lines, including gas lines, at least 4 times prior to the explosion. All the companies involved settled prior to a trial, except Xcel.
We ended up settling with these other defendants through a mediation process. They would not even come to the mediation.
A Denver jury just found Xcel's portion of responsibility to be a little more than $3 million. We emailed Xcel this morning with specific questions. Did the company really not show up to mediation to avoid a trial, and why? And if Xcel has to pay any verdict, do Xcel customers pay or Xcel shareholders? The response we got was thoughts are with the families and that an investigation found the company did not commit any violations. Xcel did not answer if customers end up paying the verdict.
I would hope that the consumer watchdogs and people like yourself would not let them do that.
I would love to know who it is actually pays for everything that we just went through. Is it a rate increase that we have to absorb that pays for the expensive attorneys they had fighting this case for them? I dread hearing about that.
I replied to Xcel letting them know that statement did not answer our questions and that we would be showing you our questions to them. The jury actually found all the companies responsible for almost $32 million in damages. But since those other companies already settled out of court, those portions are moot. Xcel's is $3 million for multiple victims, not just the Ross family, but Kyle. There are state limits on capping certain damages. So wrongful death, I found out today, the cap is $436,000. So the $3 million really probably isn't even up to $3 million.
I wouldn't have even thought to ask about this before your recent reporting about how much gets passed through to Xcel customers.
Right. If I do a story like this more than a month ago, I'm looking at the verdict and how does this parse out, and okay, so you're going to appeal this state decision, you want to try to get it higher than the caps, and now it's like, oh, you're just going to add that to our bills perhaps. Let's find out if you're going to admit to that or if you're going to tell me explicitly no. And I'm still waiting. I'm going to keep asking because until we get a no, you might assume otherwise.
Yeah, this is kind of not the kind of thing that Xcel should necessarily blow off questions about. All right, Marshall, thank you.